Namaste and welcome to your weekly wellness tune-up. Today we're discussing Ayurveda tips for seasonal wellness. And remember, this is just a generalization. It really matters what your dosha is, what climate you're living in, what's happening with the weather today, inside, outside your environment. Because the way the world is now, the seasons don't come exactly on time according to a calendar. But what we're going to talk about today is Ayurveda's timeless wisdom for seasonal wellness and how to keep vitality strong and the mind clear as the seasons shift. I'm very excited to share with you Real Mushrooms, the sponsor of the Awakened Living podcast. I use their mushrooms every single day because they've genuinely changed my life. I trust them because they have 50 years of expertise and use 100% organic mushrooms, 0 grains, 0 fillers, which are found in most common mushroom products on the market. They use just real, organic, clinically tested mushrooms. Every morning, I use lion's mane to sharpen my thinking. I use cordyceps to give me the clean energy I need for the day. I use chaga to strengthen my immune system. And when stress hits, and it does, I use reishi to bring me back to center. With their products, you actually feel the difference. For the month of December, Real Mushrooms has offered all Awaken Living with Nabodhi podcast listeners 25% off their entire first order. So if you type in Awaken25 at checkout, you get 25% off your whole first order. You can find their link in the show notes or visit nabodhi.com/mushrooms to get yours today. The Ayurvedic view of seasons sees the year through the lens of the doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and how the seasonal qualities interact with our body and mind. For the 3 doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Vata is usually represented in the late fall to early winter when the qualities outside are dry, light, and cold. And internally, these can cause internal dryness, irregular digestion when we're not following a balanced diet as per our constitution. And in the mind, it can create some anxiety, stress, tension like this. Whereas Pitta is the late spring to early fall. It's the summer months, the warm months of the year. The energy is hot, it's sharp, it can be much more intense. And that can cause us to have overheating and physical, mental, emotional inflammation when we're not balanced. And that can lead to things like irritability or impatience or anger. For a Kapha, the season is typically late winter through spring when the qualities are heavy, damp, the weather is more cool or even cold. And this can cause internal sluggishness, slow digestion, congestion, and even low motivation, and sometimes even a depression, especially when we live in a place where there's not much sun. So these are the 3 doshas and how they relate to the season. And just like different plants thrive in different weather conditions, our bodies need different care depending on what the season is where we live. And things that we should really pay attention to notice if our body needs some assistance, some adjusting, is if we have fatigue or restlessness, especially during the seasonal changes, that's a good sign that we need to focus more on balancing our constitution to the season. Likewise, with digestive changes, if there's bloating or constipation or diarrhea, acidity, heaviness, spaced outness, these are things that also are really good signs and symptoms that we need some change. And as far as our internal mood goes, if there's a sadness, if there's that anxiety or irritability, all these things show us how our bodies need to adjust to the season. In Ayurveda, seasonal transitions are called Shandikala, the junction point. And this is often where our immune system is most vulnerable. And these are the times that is normally recommended that we do some kind of gentle cleansing, adjusting our cycles of the day, things like this. So some of the things that we can adjust really easily are our diet. If it's cold winter months, we can eat warmer foods with more digestive spices, more grounding meals that provide nourishment to the body. And if it's really hot summer months, these are the months where it's more appropriate to eat maybe more raw foods or do some more juicing like this. In any case, adjusting our diet as per our constitution, as per the season, really supports our immune system. It supports the sattvic quality in the mind and can really help us to stay inspired as the seasons change. Another really important thing is protecting the ojas. That's the overall vitality. And that means going to bed with the seasons, with the sun. In the winter months, the sun goes down much earlier, and the longer we keep the lights on, the more it disrupts the pineal gland and the biocircadian rhythm. So in the winter, it's much better to go to bed earlier, and really turning off the screens, turning off the cell phone, the computer, the television, turning off the screen an hour and a half, 2 hours before bed, and really focus on self-nourishing practices like the oil massage. You can do in the winter warm sesame oil massage. If you're a Kapha, mustard oil is very appropriate. If you're a Pitta, doing coconut oil in the summer is really good, but doing this abhyanga massage in the morning and the evening is really good. And likewise, having a regular movement. That's true for all seasons, but how that movement happens can be adjusted as per the season. In the summer months, it's nicer to go swimming in lakes, in rivers, in the ocean. Whereas in the winter, we want to do more heating, more vigorous activities, doing a strong yoga practice, going to the gym, even running in the winter. And so adjusting our diet, adjusting our daily practices, adjusting our exercise, these are all things that really help us keep in balance. And again, so important to do it as per your constitution. There's no one size fits all in Ayurveda. And really keeping the mind and spirit aligned, keeping the mind and spirit happy and alive and inspired is so crucial. And this can be done through chanting of mantras. It can be done through our pranayama practice, the breath work. We can do the alternate nostril breathing, anuloma viloma or nadi shodhana, in any season. How we do it would adjust as per the season. And just mindfulness. Notice the changes in the air. Notice the sense of the earth, how they change. Notice the way the light falls on the trees and the plants on the earth at different times of the day, and really start to attune our sense organs to the rhythms of life. And all of these things really help us stay in tune with nature. Remember, as the seasons change, our body changes because we're a part of nature. And the more we honor our body and its rhythms and the earth and its rhythms, the more ease and vitality we'll feel through all the changes of life. So that's this week's wellness tune-up, Ayurveda for the seasons. Again, it's very general. These have to be adapted to each of our individual constitutions. But I thought it would be helpful to just give an overview of what happens in the seasonal changes and how we can stay in balance. And if you found this helpful, share it with a friend and join me next week for another weekly wellness tune-up that supports our health and consciousness. And until next week, fill your hearts with love and express it in everything you do. Namaste.